It's
Hi.
us. Let me put the chat on the screen because technical difficulties almost took us out, but we what is it when you pull defeat from the jaws of victory? No, when you pull victory from the jaws of defeat. Yes, we're here. We're ready. Our names are correct on the screen. We've got our series of unfortunate events wallpaper in the background, and we've got the apology tour of a lifetime, the apology tour that no one asked for, but that we've got over and over and over and over again. And we're here for it. And Danielle's here for it. So I'm so excited. Yes.
My question is it an apology tour if you never actually apologize?
Does a tree make a sound when it falls in the forest if no one is around to hear it? It is the same dilemma.
Things I
We
want to know.
listened to an hour and maybe an hour and a 5-minute podcast with Brittany Dawn and Jordan. And we didn't hear her say, "I'm sorry" once. It was one of those, like, "I'm sorry that you took it the wrong way," or "I'm sorry that I'm, like, too beautiful and too popular and things got out of control, and how could you expect me to do right by other people?" That was the vibe. And then it was also Jordan interrupting her and redirecting her in the direction she was already turned because he, in my opinion, is a controlling person. So, love it. Let me load the video up.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Accountability, we don't know her.
Yes. Let me turn it up. I'm gonna make sure everyone can hear Danielle. Live chat, blink blank. How's the sound? Do we need to turn me down and Danielle up?
Let us know. My mic's in like an awkward position today, so I could just turn my face like this.
Oh, you could be Brittany Dawn yourself, and you could just have the microphone in your mouth the whole time.
Hi, everyone. Sorry for that.
So the little the screen that Danielle has in front of her microphone is to avoid the awful things that we keep hearing from Brittany and Jordan and everyone on Brittany's podcast. I don't even know how to get around it. It just
You can buy this on Amazon for $13 Canadian, so that's basically free in the US. So like I don't know what her excuse is.
Maybe she's too busy paying off the state of Texas for the $400,000+ that she has to pay out in a year and a half payout period. But we don't know. Maybe that's just being our gremlin with a conscience mindset that we have that we cannot get rid of because we're just haters. We're drinking the haterade. I need to get a little koozie for this that says
yes
on it. Oh, I'm gonna send you one, Danielle. Me and Danielle are gonna have to have the same little koozie for our drinks that says haterade on it. Oh,
every time we stream.
Oh, I don't know. We kind of do this by the seat of our pants, but like y'all know who Danielle is, y'all know who I am, but I guess we need to, in case there's new people, because we've gotten a few new people from the Brittany Dawn. I got someone in my live chat when we were doing the podcast who was one of the people that she scammed.
Oh, damn.
She was telling the tea in the chat. So, I'm DeeCee. I'm an MLM dropout. I talk about a little bit of everything on my channel, but I started with the unethical practices in multi-level marketing, unethical health claims, unethical recruiting practices. I've done commentary on like family vloggers, some of it, and Brittany Dawn herself as well. And we're here with the technical difficulties. They happen frequently, and it's just they keep us warm on the stream. So if they happen when you're here and you don't like that, I'm probably not the channel to follow, but we sure do have a fun time. We also
have a lot of good sound bites and baby snark, and I hope that makes up for the fact that there will be technical difficulties. And while I load the video, let me pass the microphone down to Danielle so you can hear about how my friend is going viral on the YouTubes. Like, I don't even know if I'm qualified to stream with her anymore because she's about to hit 10,000 followers. So I'm just going to mute myself and grab the video.
What up, everyone? Welcome. welcome to the party. Thanks for the intro, DeeCee. I'm going to get you to pre-record that, and I'll put it at the beginning of all of my videos moving forward.
Perfect.
All right, friends. Hi. If you're new here, I'm Danielle. I am also an anti-scam creator here on YouTube. I primarily make content in the business coaching, life coaching, spiritual coaching space as someone who used to be fully indoctrinated into the self-help personal development industry for many, many years. I decided to start documenting my journey, sort of finding my way out of that. I'm also a small business owner. I share a lot of actual business advice that you would never find inside a multi-$1,000 business coaching program, in my opinion. So if you're interested in learning how to grow a business the ethical way and actually learn something, you can check out the content on my channel. Or if you want to watch me, snark on some people doing scammy shit. Am I allowed to swear yet? Too
Oh
late?
yeah. I was like, hey, cursey words, let's go.
On Instagram, TikTok, all of that. That's what you'll find in my space. So DeeCee and I stream usually like once a week and talk about whatever we feel like. So welcome.
Yeah. Oh, and yeah, so I like to describe Danielle as the person who's going to give you the no bullshit business advice, and that is not an approved tagline of Danielle. That's just what happens here when I try to describe what Danielle does. It's like Batman swooping in and taking out the bad guys, and she's doing that with the scam. It's like she's saving the city from all of the scammers, and we love it. So,
we're trying our best.
We are trying our best. Let me link Danielle's channel, and I'm going to hopefully Nightbot. Danielle. Okay. Oh wait, I just did the wrong thing. I did it on Danielle's channel. Oh well.
Everyone on my channel, make sure you're subscribed.
Subscribe to Danielle if you're watching on Danielle's channel. So make sure to subscribe to her. Okay. All right. Does anyone need a snark notes on who Brittany Dawn is? Because we can give that to you. I guess I'll just do it anyway, since I'm just I should have just not asked the question. Brittany Dawn is a former fitfluencer who lost or gained the body that she so desired when she was in college, and she was meticulous about writing down everything that worked for her and everything that got out of her content warning eating disorder. And as she put her progress and her pictures online, she gained a huge following and a ton of people asking her, I want to look exactly like you. How do I do that? And she said, what a perfect money-making opportunity. But she doesn't say it exactly like that. So, I mean, I'm snarking this up a little bit. She built a website, and she was I don't know, overwhelmed with her popularity, and she couldn't control how fast she was growing. So over 7 years, she made well over $1 million. And then the state of Texas said, what the hell, you've been scamming people, because people were finding out that those custom plans they paid for weren't custom, they were copy and paste. It's like what is Amber Heard saying, it is the same thing as donate and pledge, like you can use them interchangeably. I think that was this case, and that's me not being very fair. I've already been heated after looking at her podcast. It's a 5-part series. So this is her video foray into the situation. It's 23 minutes and 45 seconds of your life that we're never going to get back. But if you hang out with us, you may laugh a little bit. So we will take breaks. And I think the good thing about Danielle and I is that we are also maybe going to look at this from a marketing perspective too, about what we would have recommended someone do differently from a marketing perspective, because I would have said do everything differently from a marketing perspective. So when she got in trouble with the state of Texas in 2019, she then moved from fitfluencer to Christianfluencer, and she now twists theology to hell. Oh wait, but she doesn't do that. She just says that she has changed. People should forgive her because she's forgiven herself. And after she has talked about all of the things she's done wrong on her podcast, she's not going to talk about it again, except she is going to talk about it on Reels, because she's going to monetize the hell out of this journey from, I guess, riches to rags, and she has to pay out a $400,000 settlement. So I
So
don't know.
use my Amazon storefront so I can afford to pay the state.
Use my affiliate links that I don't disclose to you to buy all the things. Oh wait, yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. Let's load the video up and figure out how to get this in the right spot. Oh, the audio, I can already tell.
Yeah, it's like lots of black or gray noise,
Background?
whatever it is. Yeah, like
You know you can fix that. You know you can fix this if you do it in post-production. You can fix the sound and where
or
the
you
mic.
just buy get an external mic. It's clearly filmed straight through the camera.
Oh my god. Oh, it's awful. So should we do I guess we can't be bigger here. We don't mind covering them up, I guess. Yeah? This is okay?
Yeah, yeah, this is fine.
Okay. All right. Live chat, buckle up. Religious manipulation. Nobody's apologizing for anything. We live in I don't know what it's called. What is that called when you deflect? Or we live in qualifier. Like she's gonna qualify everything that she's gonna
Okay.
So okay, let's go. Oh,
I don't even know how to start.
It sounds like a waterfall.
is that oh my god, it sounds awful.
Like you could literally buy like $40 external microphone. You don't even have to get like a Rode mic. You could just get something cheap and it would do better than the internal mic on your camera.
Yes. Oh, I guess we could do this. We could put them down here. Do y'all want to do that?
Let's do that.
Do we want to look at Jordan? Because I don't.
Yeah, or we could cut him out and just have her.
Oh, we could do that. Yes, we could do that. I can't even imagine. She's got millions of followers on TikTok. She's got 400,000 followers on YouTube. And apparently you can get to a high YouTube following with shitty sound. That's okay. Okay. I'm sorry, my audio is being a brat. Okay, let's go. Oh my.
Is that a side pony?
Yeah.
Okay. Rock it. Just go with it.
We've already had this conversation on a podcast. This is a completely different one. It feels like they're acting. And I know they're probably not acting. It just feels like that. Oh my god.
Did they record in a bathroom? It sounds like it. It sounds like someone's running the tap while they record this.
Yeah. Like their indoor water feature, plus all the water in their house is on, plus their fan. Oh my god.
You can do this.
Hello YouTube and welcome back to my channel. In full transparency, I just had a breakdown because this is probably the hardest video I'm ever going to film.
Can y'all even hear them talking?
This is so bad.
She just had a breakdown, but she also had another breakdown when she was on the podcast. And look, as a weeping willow, I'm not going to say you can't cry about the same thing. It just feels twisty to exploit two different situations for money. Oh my god.
I have Jordan here just for moral support. Really no other reason than that because he's the best husband. So I tried filming this on my own and I was a train wreck. So he's here to help me.
You already did this on the podcast, and this is completely different than what they said on the podcast, but they're saying it again for this video. Oh my god. This is from a marketing... Here, let me take them off the screen. From a marketing perspective, this makes me crazy because it feels disingenuous, and like I'm not about the lying type of marketing that some people do, or the tricking type of marketing. Like, just be honest, or just record once. Like, he doesn't have to be... It's like she's trying to fix his reputation along with her reputation, but like it's just coming across as disingenuous to me. I don't know what you think about that, Danielle.
No, I agree. And I don't know. I don't understand why we're doing a separate YouTube video when we already did this on the podcast.
Yeah.
Even just from like a creator's perspective, like that sounds like a pain in the ass to have to make 2 separate things. Like, why wouldn't you just make the YouTube video the podcast episode?
That might have been too easy. That might have been too easy. Who knows? Oh God.
Here I am.
Oh, there you are.
You guys probably know by the title of this video what this is about. I'm here today to give full context. First, to take full responsibility for where I went wrong, for the mistakes that were made, where I messed up, but also to give full context to...
But also, see, that's the problem. I'm here to take full accountability, but I'm also going to tell my side of the story, because when you hear my side of the story, you're going to know that I really wasn't to blame, and the state of Texas just came after me for no reason at all.
And I was just a child and I didn't know what I was doing, so it's not my fault.
Yeah. Yep.
This lawsuit, how my business started, where things went wrong, and how everything came about and ended in...
She's going to say where things went wrong. It went wrong because you decided to choose greed over doing the right thing for your customers. She could have turned off the payment portal for her website at any time. She could have stopped accepting payments for macro plans at any time. She could have, and she didn't. 23, there's 22, 23, 21, 20-year-olds who serve in the military or become firefighters or do something responsible, and she's saying that, oh, I was young and I didn't know better. And there's people all over the world who are young and they do sacrificial like things for their community, and it isn't this. It isn't making excuses like this. So oh my God. We're going to take lots of breaks. It's probably going to take us forever to get through this one. We're going to ruin Danielle's like work day.
That's okay. I got all day, baby. And I got a floofy right here. So
Floof sighting.
I don't know. You can see the top of his head.
Oh my God. I love it. Bubba's an icon. Literally, he's an icon. If you're a member of Danielle's channel, you've got Bubba and you've got Bubba Hypnotized. You've got 2 Bubbas. So
Bubba.
We love it. Okay.
The state of Texas at 28 years old. Yeah. And I'm gonna try not to get emotional. I'm not promising anything, because at the end of the day, I'm human. And this has been the hardest 4.5 years of my life that I have had to keep quiet and live in secret, because I was not allowed to speak up. I was not allowed.
You didn't have to live in secret. What are you talking about? Oh, your lawyer doesn't want you to give evidence to the state of Texas so that you would literally ruin your own case. Oh God, God forbid you listen to your lawyer. You're saying that you had to live in secret? What are you talking about? It's just the hyperbolic language. I'm not here for it. I'm already irritated.
Liar, liar, pants on fire.
Oh my God.
Thing about this, once it was what it was. So just start at the beginning. Yeah.
Start at the beginning.
Yeah. So I'm going to take you guys back to 2012. Before I do that, though, I do want to say that I am so sorry for anyone that was genuinely hurt by this. It was never my intention.
Anyone who was genuinely hurt, as opposed to people who could have been hurt for the wrong reasons. The qualifications that she's putting around about how people would hurt, stealing money from people, and I say that in a way where someone gave you their hard-earned money and you didn't give them what you promised. In my mind, that's stealing. Maybe that's not the correct term of stealing, but that's the issue. And you can harm people whether you think that you harm them or not. You know what I mean? Like she's saying like, oh, if they were genuinely hurt, as opposed to there's people out there who maybe didn't treat her right and were still hurt because she still took their money.
I think this also relates back to a comment she made on the podcast where she was talking about people who, like, in her opinion, got what they paid for and then didn't ask for a refund until the like class action lawsuit was started. So in her mind, she's like, well, that person got what they wanted. So why did they only want a refund? Because so-and-so said that they want a refund. And it's like, well, maybe they did want a refund. They just didn't know what channel to follow to get the refund until this, like, you got sued. So
Yep.
That's kind of how I'm taking this. Like, it just
Yeah,
pisses
because
me
on her
off.
website, she said, "No refunds, no exceptions."
Exactly.
And so, and then if someone said, "Oh my god, the government is stepping in because something was done wrong here," and I wanted a refund, when I found out that, oh, maybe it was a copy and paste and I can get a refund, she's saying that those people didn't really deserve a refund or weren't genuinely hurt by her because they jumped on a bandwagon when she created the situation that she is now in.
Exactly.
To harm anyone. I started a business when I was young and it blew up and became something that I never could have seen coming. And because of that, and because of my arrogance and just being dumb, for lack of better words, and not letting my pride get the best of me and being prideful and not asking for help, things happened and things slipped through the cracks. But nothing was ever done maliciously, and everything is done with as of April 25th.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is done with. So that being said, I'm going to take you guys through where everything started.
2012. You can do it.
Yeah. So 2012.
How'd you start?
I was in college, and I remember just not having any confidence, being super insecure. I had low self-esteem, and seeing all the girls on campus that were so bubbly and outgoing. And
Look, I'm just going to say this from someone who is more in the potato realm. She's beautiful. I mean, I'm sure she seems like she is very like aesthetically pleasing in the like standard of beauty in the United States. And even if she did have she's saying she had self-esteem issues and that's how she ended up in the gym. Okay, but you also like had lots of opportunities too. You got to go to college. You got the opportunity to like have access to education. I don't I sound like I am disqualifying what she is saying. I just don't have a ton of empathy for like she's already beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Like I just don't understand because like I'm having a hard time understanding, and maybe someone in the live chat can comment or maybe Danielle can offer sanity to this conversation because I just don't like I see her and I'm like, you would have been the popular person in school. You're like above average beauty. You can do your makeup. You have beautiful hair. You like even in her before pictures that she showed on the internet, she was a beauty standard of like very small. And so I just don't, and maybe like it's different. And I know you can have body dysmorphia too. I'm having a hard time processing it.
Yeah. I don't know. I just
It's twisty here, right? It's so twisty.
Oh, I also want to address one of the comments. Someone asked in the comments, I can't find it now, but someone was asking about refund policies. So in Canada and the US, it's up to the business to decide whether or not they want to offer a refund policy. In like the UK, Australia, and a few European countries, some companies are required to allow people to have refunds, but in Canada and the US, you're not required as a business owner to offer refunds. It's up to your discretion. So
Okay.
she technically wasn't breaking any laws by having a no refund policy.
Yeah.
That being said, if you don't provide what you are telling people you're going to provide, then you're required to give a refund.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And I wanted that, and I had been an athlete my whole life, but I never had that because I was never focused on like aesthetics. I was focused on being quick, being strong, being powerful, but never like the physical appearance. And so
this is not true. Okay, so hello to Danielle of 2014, who used to be a complete gym rat and obsessed with all of the fitness YouTubers. She used to be a bikini competitor. So yes, you're focused on aesthetics. You're not focused on power and strength. You're focused on how you look in a bikini in front of a panel of judges. So don't come on here and tell me I was never focused on aesthetic. That's all you were focused on.
Yeah, and when you go back and you look at her Instagram from the beginning of when she started this, the way that it's presented says something about the focus of what you were looking at. And all the things corrected what Danielle said. Bikini competitors is literally all about proportion, your actual shape of your muscles, your butt, your boobs, like all of the things. Like it's yeah, their audio is literally having a hissy fit. I don't know if they don't have AC in Texas. I don't know if I don't know. Maybe they're making this hard to listen to on purpose. It sounds like Danielle sounds crispy clear to me. I think I sound crispy clear, and they sound like they are recording behind a waterfall
In the ocean.
in the ocean.
I went on this journey in college after hitting a somewhat rock bottom, and ended up losing weight, had a drastic transformation, which I will put here on the screen so you guys can understand what that was.
Okay. That looks like I'm not trying to belittle anybody. That is also 7 years of difference.
It's also angles.
And it's also angles. And I think she looks great in both. I understand why she feels like she looks better in 2016. I mean, yeah, okay. I don't know.
For context, really didn't even look like my before picture, anything. Like I looked like two different people, and that was also kind of when Instagram started. So remember I had shared these photos on my Instagram.
Wait, didn't Instagram start before 2016? Like, didn't Instagram start?
I had Instagram in like 2013. Let me Google. When was Instagram created? 2010.
And also, Jordan doesn't know when YouTube was started because she was saying, they were saying on their podcast, oh, wouldn't it have been helpful for you to learn how to do your website or whatever? Because YouTube wasn't around. YouTube has been around since 2005. And this was in 2013, 2014 when she was building her website. And it was there are absolutely are tutorials from those years on that she could have looked up.
Mm-hmm.
Just to be an inspiration. Literally nothing more than that. I never had the intention of starting a business. I never knew that a business could even come of that. Like that was literally when Instagram first became a thing. And I just remember
in 2016.
Pardon me.
And this is why it's hard to believe you, because you're just shilling lies right now. Like not the misinformation, just the wrong information.
I make up my own facts. Whatever I want to be true becomes true.
I'm going to clip that and I'm going to use it on my soundboard for the rest of my life. Oh my God.
Some of my posts going viral back then, and girls were asking like, hey, we have similar body types. How did you get there? What did you do? Like, I would love to reach this point. And so I just started sharing my journey. At this point, I'd been a personal trainer for quite some time. I was blessed to be under the umbrella of these personal trainers and this gym management, and they were just incredible, and I learned so much and was just so hungry to learn about all the things with anatomy and physiology. And this is where I get flustered.
Take a breath. How did it turn into a business?
Yeah, I mean, I was so passionate about.
Is he her production manager? He's just like prompting her so she knows what to talk about.
Wouldn't, like, let's say you didn't want to write a script. I mean, it's the first, I think that she should have practiced on her other podcast where she is just reading straight from a script for all the ones leading up to her apology tour. But wouldn't you have an outline of things so you would know what to hit on? And I think she's also, this is just me, and this is me being judgy as hell. it looks like she is trying to make herself seem vulnerable and that she is not this cunning mastermind of social media and that she is so dependent upon her partner that he has to help her and to give this new image. And all it's saying to me is he's very controlling, and you've already had this conversation that's completely different on a podcast. So it doesn't come across as truthful because you've already talked through this and it sounded completely different when we listened to the podcast. These are not word for word clipped up for what the podcast was. And if it is, shame on y'all for choosing this awful audio to do it with. Oh. And if you care about doing something where you're going to be messing around with people's bodies or with their minds, you need to get a certification or licensure. So if you want to be doing macros for people, become a registered dietitian and go through the training and the testing that's required so that you can safely like mess around with people. And I say that like jokingly, but she's saying I read a lot of books. And I worked at a gym a lot, and that
I had a personal trainer, therefore I can now train other people.
yeah, it's like, oh,
through osmosis.
I've had surgery before. Now I can do surgery on other people. No. That is not how it works. Oh my God.
All of it.
Audio.
I was passionate about seeing women reach their goals and feel confident in their own skin, and everything I had felt, I wanted other women to feel that too. And so I loved my clients. I still have connections to clients to this day. 2013, I was at home in my apartment. I got this idea to start a website, not knowing what would come of it. In that, I made a website, and
I made a website to be able to monetize what I wanted to do, not knowing if it was going to be successful. Is that what you meant to say? And it did become successful because that's how people were paying you for your services. The way that she is twisting stuff to make her seem less of the villain. I'm not saying she's a villain. I'm saying that she is fully responsible for her behavior, and she is trying to stay as far away from any responsibility as possible with the way she's talking about
anything
this.
she can say to not have to take full accountability.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I never could have seen what was coming. My business took off. I feel frazzled again.
Okay. What kind of growth did you see?
Yeah. I mean, it became a 6-figure business within the first year. Within 7 years, it surpassed, well over $1 million in revenue. And I think it's that saying, where sometimes your reality grows faster than your perception of yourself. And that was genuinely what happened to me. I was young. I was a pre-vet student, like animal science degree. I didn't know how to run a business. I didn't know anything about owning a business. Like, I never had an intention
Then
to
hire
run a
an
business.
Accountant. Like, I didn't know how to run a business either. You know what I did? I called my friend as a CPA and was like, what do I do? Like,
yeah, and that's the confusing part. You have a business that over whatever the 7 years or the 6 years that you had it she said well over $1 million. Okay. When I was working in a store and I was the interim person who would balance the books when our first accountant was retiring, they taught me until they could hire someone to do it. And you balance it every day so that every transaction comes in matches up with your receipts so that you can catch cash mistakes, or you can catch overcharges, or you can catch credit cards that didn't swipe, or checks or whatever, and you zero out every single day. So she's going to tell you in the story that she didn't get plans out to people, that she didn't, all this other confusing stuff. And it's like, were you not balancing your books, and were we not paying taxes? Because I'm really confused just listening to this. And me not having ever run a business myself, I just worked for a business and I know that balancing is important. And Danielle runs her own business and she knows balancing the books is important.
And like my piece of advice to anyone, even people that contact me who have like a hobby Etsy shop where they make like a couple $1,000s a year, it's like pay a $100 fee to a bookkeeper or an accountant for an hour of their time to sit down and to have them tell you, this is the spreadsheet you need. This is how much you set aside for taxes, this, to answer those questions so that it doesn't become, you know, a situation, not even like this, but anything where it's like, oh, what do you mean I owe income tax? Like if you are willing to pay someone for their time, they can save you so much time and so much money in the long run that just saying, well, I don't have business experience, I don't know anything, isn't an excuse when you have people and resources available to you to answer those questions.
I never could have seen that coming. And it just happened so fast. I remember it felt like a blur. And I was 23. Yeah, I was 23 in 2013. So I was a baby, just trying to manage and learn. And sorry, I'm fidgeting, you guys. Oh my gosh, I'm a mess. My business grew.
Listen, I've rewatched some of my streams back because I try to listen so I get better at not doing filler words. I look like I got run over by a train when I'm crying, and not to judge, she's beautiful and she looks perfect as she's saying that she's a wreck. I am just commenting on what I'm seeing. I doesn't like pass the sniff test for me. I don't, and maybe I'm being extra judgy because I do think that she's like very US beauty standard beautiful. She has beautiful hair. She's got perfect makeup. She's got eyelashes. She's got a nice tan. I don't see the like I don't see what she's talking about. And I don't know, Danielle, if you see what she's talking about, but I don't know.
No, I mean, this whole thing just comes off as incredibly fake to me.
So fast. I was young, I was dumb, I was naive, I had no idea how to manage this business that was now being placed in my hands. And because of that, I didn't
How
ask
many
for help.
times
I didn't know that.
Is she going to say, I was young and I didn't know what I was doing? To the point of what Jessica literally just wrote in the comments for those of you that are listening. She said, drop in the live chat how anti-baby you were at 23. I was buying a house and graduating college, not a baby. Exactly. By the time you're 23, that's like whatever, 5 years after you've left high school. I'm sure you've had to deal with some level of responsibility, whether that was learning how to pay rent, learning how to file your taxes, going to university, going to college, whatever. It's like, okay, I get 23 is young, but you're old enough to have the capacity to figure out stuff that you don't know.
Yeah, and even if let's say you go to trade school at 18 and you're an apprentice electrician for how many years, you might even be a journeyman at that point. You may
exactly.
There's lots of I just don't I guess I don't have the room for the
woe is me.
Yes, the woe is me at 23 of like, oh, I just didn't know. When like what my brother was doing at 23, he had already been in the military for 6 years at that point.
Exactly.
So I don't get it. I don't get it at all.
And even if I compare her to like someone that would be equivalent. So if we look at like, you know, those TikTok influencers that all popped off during the pandemic, like Charli D'Amelio, she was what, like 16? She figured it out. Like,
yep.
Oh.
Oh boy.
To ask for help, I was prideful in a sense of, well,
you wanted to keep all the money for yourself? Is that what it was? Because that's what it sounds like to me. And that's me being judgy as hell. Because if you really cared about your customers, if you're customer focused, you're saying, am I giving a quality product or a quality service to my target market? If I'm not, what's holding me back from doing that? The speed of being able to produce that. Okay, do I need to allocate some of the money that I'm getting? Is there even room in the profit margin for my product or service to pay someone so that we can get the product to the customer quicker? If there is, great. If there's not, turn off your pay portal and figure shit out, or raise the price of your product. But you don't like make the customer suffer for your stuff. That's the way I was taught to do stuff. I don't know about everybody else in the live chat, but when you're looking at the customer, you make decisions in your business so that you can service them better. Maybe that's wrong. I don't know.
No, I think she's using her age as a crutch to not have to take responsibility for her level of greed at that time.
Yes. And Brian just said, greed, my dear Watson.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Myself, I just wanted it done the right way. And I didn't realize,
because I wanted to save all the money and not have to pay anyone.
Entrust those tasks to other people. I didn't realize
copying and pasting macros can't be trusted to someone else because someone's going to out you that you weren't actually writing custom macros. Is that what you're telling me? Because that's what it sounds like. There's a lot of qualified people out there.
And the other piece that really is interesting about this, again, I was someone who like carefully observed what was going on in the fitness industry at this time. There were multiple other fitness influencers who were of the caliber of Brittany Dawn at that time, who would openly talk about how they were outsourcing all of their admin work to VAs in the Philippines. And it was like a big thing. So it's not that she didn't know she could outsource this work, because again, these influencers were openly talking about it at that time. So it's like, and they were the same age. So it's not an age thing. Like it doesn't add up to me.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's more of wanting to hide behavior and people
and save all the money for herself.
Yep.
That I could ask for help. I didn't realize that I could hire on a team. I didn't realize that those things were part.
You were working in a gym as a part of a team. What do you mean you didn't realize the concept of having a team? You grew up riding horses. There's stable hands. There's the owners of the horses that take care of the stable, and then you can get a discount if you're also working there. And then there's the manager. Like, what do you mean you don't even grasp the concept of a team? That, like, it's just like one red flag after the other when we're listening to this. Did she pay taxes? I'm sure the IRS is gonna. I don't know. I'm sure the state of Texas, if they're going to slap her even harder, gave everything they had to the IRS as well. And maybe she was paying taxes. Who knows? We certainly don't know.
Of growth in a business, and I do now. It's a very hard lesson to learn. So 2019 was the moment that everything came to a head for me. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
Because I finally got called out on my bullshit.
Yep. So one of the people that was in the live chat the other night when we were looking at this podcast, and she was saying that we were trying to find other people if they had been scammed by Brittany Dawn too, and Brittany Dawn was the one that shut their Facebook group down for slander when it was just them asking questions about what the hell was going on with what they were paying for and why so many people their macro plans matched. So her trying to information control hello bite model, like what the heck? Oh,
I can do
it. She can cut the video. We've seen multiple cuts so far. She's purposely leaving these cuts in there to make her seem more vulnerable. And I'm being critical because I've edited courses for people. I've made thinkific courses for people. I've done video production. I've done some audio stuff. I've been in marketing for a long time. She's leaving this in to make herself look like she is so vulnerable, when it would have been more honest for her to say, I fucked up. I chose greed over taking care of my customers, and I unfortunately didn't do the right thing, and the only person that held me to account was the state of Texas, and I settled, and I'm paying this money out. 30 seconds, we're done. And you can see when we look at the reels if you go to her YouTube and you look at the reels, how she is monetizing this situation about about what happened with the state of Texas, her looking like the victim when the people who lost money to her are the victims of this. And then she is currently monetizing that. It burns. Like, the rage inside me is so hot right now. I know I keep going on monologues, but I'm mad. Danielle's like, we're gonna rage together.
I'm here for it.
Jordan does, and if you listen to the podcast, Jordan is very controlling. If you listen to him on the podcast, he is, and his voice kept getting slower and slower and lower and lower. And if you've ever been around someone who is scary as heck, and I don't know, it was just like setting me off when I was listening to it. And I'm not saying, I don't know. I've seen some things from his work that he's done, but it just like, I didn't enjoy listening to him talk. So
Maya's asking, what is she going to talk about in the next 3 parts? My guess is how young she was and how she didn't know what she was doing. I think she's just, based on this video, how she's already repeated that about 10 times. My assumption is that's going to be the recurring theme for all parts.
Yeah. But we're going to cover it because, I mean, it's like, there are people that are going to watch this on her channel and believe her and take her at her word that she was just young and unassuming and so innocent and that she didn't have any bad intentions. And it's like, no, let's unpack this. Let's look at the information control. Let's look at the emotional control. Let's look at the behavior control and that she is doing right now. And then let's look at it also in the context of what is she saying and then what is she actually doing on social media, because it's 2 different stories. And I think that it's important to look at because she's making a shit ton of money off of her following and, in my opinion, taking advantage of her following. So
100%.
Oh, we had this. I'm sure this is like cheese fest, and I'm going to apologize to Danielle's audience right now, but we downloaded this because if you've ever seen Walker, Texas Ranger, which is a show from like the late 80s or early 90s, it's with Chuck Norris, but it's about Texas Rangers, and we played it because Brittany Dawn got slapped by the state of Texas, but
the unsuspecting stranger had better know the truth of wrong from right. 'Cause the eyes of the ranger are upon you.
Just for me, like, don't go to Danielle's channel and sub to her and like her video as like, I'm sorry for playing that. I'm sorry for playing that sound bit.
Yeah.
So in 2019, there was a prank video that was put on YouTube by someone with a platform, a pretty large platform, and that person portrayed themselves as a father of a client of Brittany's. They flew out to LA, where she was the face of a booth for the LA Fit Expo, and that person approached her and caught her off guard and accused her of scamming his daughter.
So, the expo, when this prank happened, first of all, I was completely caught off guard. My dad...
You just fucking
said that.
Y'all have rehearsed this, okay? Which makes me even more frustrated.
Here are the phrases we have to include in our sentences. Caught off guard.
Yeah. Where's our caught off guard counter? Where is I was young counter?
Too young.
I need like a counter in the corner or something. And okay, that was shitty to do if it's a prank. I'm sure it was a prank. There are dads or moms or parents out there who were probably pissed that their kids got taken advantage of you, Brittany Dawn. I'm just saying, like, there probably are people out there who would have been open to having that conversation and saying you're ignoring everybody online for the refund request because you say that you don't give refund requests and what the hell's going on. And I don't condone that type of behavior of pranking someone to scare them. The way that they are making, again, themselves look like the victims, when they're not is twisty.
Dad has always taught me that if you don't know what to say in the heat of a moment, it's better to not say anything than to say something you'll regret. And now
on the podcast, she said that's biblical. No. That also makes me mad. And I know not everyone in the chat is religious. It gets twisty when you teach that to kids because it can get them into situations where they can be harmed because they can get manipulated by people who have evil intentions. And so when she was saying on the podcast that was something biblical that she had learned about, keeping her mouth shut, I'm obviously have lots of feelings about this, so it's just going to be Rage City. I don't like it. I don't like that she is promoting herself as this huge Christian influencer, that she has all of the correct theology when all we hear is twisty theology. And it's like, no, if someone is coming to you and yelling at you and you don't know what to say, you stand up for yourself. Defend yourself, Like, I think a guy immediately stepped in and removed that guy from Brittany. If you watch the video, someone from the team immediately steps in and removes the guy. So she's making it seem like she was alone and afraid and nobody came to help her.
Boo-hoo-hoo.
And someone did.
That's biblical. I wasn't living for Christ then, and that's my testimony, and that's going to be the last video in this series. But it is biblical to hold your tongue if you don't know what to say in the moment. And so that's what I did.
No. I'm sorry. I know everyone's like, not, there's some people who are not religious at all. It's just like, it's offensive, I think, to the religious people in the chat who are Christians, like listening to this shit, because it's like, no.
And of course that came off as she's being silent because she's guilty, and the internet just completely manipulated that entire situation. He was very abrasive. I mean, he humiliated me. We will leave his name unmentioned because, truth be told, he doesn't deserve any more notoriety than he's already gotten by just having my name in the title of his video.
Oh, so we're not going to be able to find it now, and we're not going to be able to go watch it and search for it and develop more compassion for you?
Boo-hoo-hoo. AKA, we don't want to find out the real story. So,
yeah.
So I got back home from California, and pretty soon after, like the next week, that video went live.
I think that the main thing that the video did that was unfair in this situation is the video perpetuated a false narrative that Brittany was a scammer and that she was a fraud and defrauded people intentionally. The one thing that I know that I can speak on probably better than Brittany can, is that this situation was investigated by the state of Texas. There was never any proof that she intentionally defrauded someone or scammed them. This was a simple situation.
This was a simple situation? Yeah, it wasn't criminal. You're not going to go to prison. You just got slapped with a $400,000 payback that is going to go to I'm guessing, the quote unquote people who wanted refunds who didn't get a refund. So I don't know why he is talking so much. It wasn't his business. He wasn't even married to her at the time or dating her when she had started or was in the middle of this stuff. She was married to someone else. So I don't know. The state of Texas doesn't just willy-nilly use their state funds to go after someone just for the fun of it. It's not a witch hunt. They had enough stuff to say, we can go after you civilly, and that's what they did. And normally, most people know in lawsuits, you can't just say stuff and give evidence to the other side by admitting things on the internet. That's just not smart. And so most lawyers tell you not to run your mouth on the internet when you are in the middle of a lawsuit. Okay? So I don't know. I'm not being very fair. Oh God. How can he speak on this better than she can? Also, he's a cop, not a lawyer. I think former cop. So what does he know about the law? Good question.
Of business outgrowing its capabilities.
Yeah. Well, and me again, like, I messed up. I didn't hire on people. I didn't hire on help. I didn't ask for help. If I could go back and fix it, I absolutely would, because it was never my intention to hurt anyone. I wanted to help women.
And Danielle, you got something that
I'm just thinking, like, okay, the only reason you would go back and fix it is because you don't want to get caught for not fixing it. If you wanted to fix it, you would have fixed it when you felt overwhelmed. Like, I'm thinking in my own business, when I can't keep up, what did I do? I hired a VA because I was like, I have so much shit to do and not enough time. The only solution to this is to outsource. So if she's in that position, what was her solution? I'll just ignore the problem and hope that it goes away. Well, it didn't go away, and now here we are. So it's like the only reason now in retrospect you want to fix it is because you have to pay $500,000.
Yeah, and there were so many speed bump moments for her because I think she was offering custom macro solutions for people that weren't custom macro solutions. So there were so many opportunities that would have been red flags for her, saying, "Oh my gosh, I either refund this money or take the time to write the macro. I'm not going to choose either of those. I'm going to copy and paste macro so I can still keep the money." That's what makes me even ragier. So I just there are so many times that so many red flags would have come up, and you're saying that you're so and there are so many people who would have said that and said, yeah, scamming people and taking advantage of people is not the right decision. And you don't have to be a Christian or a religious person to know that.
Exactly. And I'm just like, I don't know. This whole thing, it doesn't make sense to me. This whole video doesn't need to be a 20-minute video. She literally could have just come on and said, I started a business. I got overwhelmed. I let greed get the best of me. And now I have to live with the consequences of my decisions. But instead, she has to come up with all these excuses as to why, instead of just admitting what happened.
Yep.
And I did help women. I had over 5,000 clients.
Why are you looking at him? It was your business. I don't understand. Let me ask you this, Danielle.
Mm-hmm.
You and your partner seem, from what I've seen, you seem healthy. Like you're independent, running your own businesses. You have a business and your partner does. Do you constantly look over to your partner for like affirmation when you're answering questions about your own business?
Especially on like a video. That's so weird. I will admit, I have been at networking events where I'll like look at him just to make sure that I'm explaining it correctly, because that's just because I have a tendency to like not make sense when I'm talking. But I'm also quite capable of, telling my own story, because I feel like, I think in this case, it's more like she wants his approval for what she's saying, of like, am I explaining this right? Oh, wink, wink, wink. I don't know. It is like, it gives me weird vibes. But
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
like
he just gives me weird vibes.
Yeah, she's giving it's like I'm a damsel in distress and here's my strong protector and
Save me.
don't you I'm not here for it. I'm not here for any of it.
Something like that. Yep. Over 5,500 clients that
she said 500. She said 5,000 on the podcast, and now it's 5,500 on this YouTube video.
Also, my question is, why would he know any of that? Like, if I asked Pablo, how many clients have I worked with this year? He would look at me and be like, I don't know. Like, you tell me.
Yeah.
So to me, again, it just kind of signals that control piece of like, if he knows all this information, that means he has his hand, where he probably shouldn't be.
Yep. Agree.
And I loved helping them. I actually had one the other day reach out to me and she was like, hey, I don't know if you remember me. And I was like, I do remember you. I do. That I've helped. And so it was never my intention, because where there were hundreds that didn't get what they paid for, there were thousands that that did, and they loved the program. And again, it was never my intention to hurt anyone, and I'm so sorry if I did hurt you. Were mistakes made? Yes, absolutely. Like I said, and I probably sound like a broken record at this point, but I took on too much. I mean,
We have not heard her apologize once.
No.
No, and here's what I mean, we'll pretend. What would the apology sound like? Danielle, if you were Brittany Dawn, what would the apology sound like?
Again, it's what I said earlier. It's like, just admit what happened. Like, I started a business. I took on more clients than I could handle. I let my greed get the best of me. And now I have to live with the consequences of that decision. I apologize for all of the people that I hurt because I know I did them wrong. Hello? I apologize to the people who maybe felt hurt by my actions, but
yeah,
blah,
genuinely
blah, blah, blah,
hurt. Yeah, not the fake hurt, the genuine hurt that
yeah.
they were experiencing. Oh my God. And what did that take? A minute? 2 minutes? 30 seconds?
That's what I'm saying. Why is this video 20 minutes long of her just saying, I was young. I was young. I didn't know what I was doing. I was young.
Yeah. God.
I get emotional when I think about where I was and how I had no social life because I worked sun up to sundown pretty much every single day. Yeah, so mistakes.
Working her fingers to the bone on social media. And she just had to scam people to be able to make ends meet. Oh my God.
Meanwhile, at that point in time, she's posting like Target hauls on her channel on YouTube every other day. So.
Yeah. God. Mistakes were made, but we don't know they were made because she has only said that the mistakes were made because of her age, that mistakes were made because of people making her appear to be a villain when she wasn't one, that she didn't intend to hurt anybody, and so those definitely don't count as mistakes. And
the demand was too high, so it wasn't her fault.
Yes, everything is not her fault, which is just wild to listen to the second time around.
Made because of that. I was burning rubber. I was burnt out. I wasn't asking for help. I wasn't hiring help, and I very well could have because I had the income to do so. And whenever
I had the income to do so, but I couldn't let anybody see the shit behind the scenes because I was copying and pasting macros. That's just my opinion. That is not the truth of, I'm sure
I didn't want them to know how I was running my business, so I didn't let them in.
Yep. I mean, seems the simplest reason to explain her knowing she needed help, her having, because that's what you think. How do I do this? I need to hire help. Do I have money to do it? I'm aware that I had the money to do it. Why would you not then get the help? Because you're doing something shady. In my opinion, it's just a commentary channel. So interesting.
Everything happened in 2019. There's so much that people didn't see that I couldn't talk about. I was scrambling behind the scenes to refund women that didn't get what they paid for. Even people who, I don't even know how to say this, like there were people who were photoshopping receipts who were never paid clients of mine who saw the viral video and then Good Morning America that...
Why do you not have a system in place where there are transaction IDs that go with the person who bought it? So then an email address would have synced up, or there's something to say, okay, I can refund your credit card that you've put in. Why is there no system so that you don't get scammed? Because you're saying, oh, now that you're being blackmailed but to return stuff because they've seen the viral video and they're pretending things. Well, if you have a system in place that there's a matching up of stuff, why wouldn't you use that?
Oh, but don't you remember? She conveniently got locked out of her PayPal account as soon as the state wanted evidence for the case.
Oh, right. God. Oh, my God. This is just twisty to me. It's just, what's the lesson we learn here today? Don't put off having a system, a payment system where you can balance your books weekly, okay? Just don't put it off. Listen to Danielle. Go sub to her so you can learn all the business advice. Oh, my God.
was previous to all this media and all the spotlight attention, and suddenly they were photoshopping receipts and I was refunding them because I believed them, because they were...
Well, that's how in over your head you were, was that the business was growing so fast and there were so many clients coming on board that
You
she
can
couldn't keep
freaking
up
search
with.
it. Control F. Find the email. Just like DeeCee said, doesn't matter what payment platform you use Stripe, you use PayPal, you use Square, like you can search for a client by their name, by their email address, by the order amount. Like,
Yep.
it doesn't make sense. In the 2020s, you have no excuse to not know.
Yep. And you can export. So like when in our credit card processing system, you can log in, you can export you can do the date range, you can export all of the charges, you can sort them by like Visa, MasterCard, American Express, whatever. So even if you're trying to find something and to match it up, literally you can.
Exactly. You can search.
Yes, Melissa, it's not that hard. Aya said, what did Aya say? I can literally set up a website to put everything in an Excel bookkeeping software in 5 minutes. Incredible.
Like it'll extrapolate everything. You just export it as a CSV and you can search instantly. Yep. Every single platform I've ever come across does that.
Yep. It's just wild. And like when we had discrepancies, like with what our point of sale system said that we should have brought in, and then all of the monies, what we would do is I would export our point of sales into an Excel spreadsheet. I would color it one color, then I would do all the other payments, and we would choose something where something would match, like the amount or whatever, and then we put that in a different color we'd sort. And so then you can start seeing where the gaps are in what if we didn't get the money for it, or if we didn't do the right cash amount or whatever. Like there's stuff you can do. If she couldn't do it, she needed to hire someone, and she had the money to do it. She just admitted that. Oh my God.
I didn't have systems, and I should have. Yeah.
The part that I'll never be able to get behind or agree with was with the media coverage and with videos going viral about you. There were customers from the early days, 2012, 2013, 2014, that when all of this happened in 2019, came back after the fact and said, hey, I want a refund too.
Yeah. When we had proof that, I had proof that they, not only did they get their program, but they loved their program. I had emails to prove that. I had all the email correspondence that they could have wanted, and they got results. So it was truly a bandwagon mentality. And then when I said no and I put my foot down, they got ugly. And I mean, some of these things that were said to me in emails, like, I can never unsee those words. I can never forget that. It was a bandwagon mentality.
Then don't give them a refund. You know what? When someone would object or whatever, they would say, hey, I didn't make this transaction. And then we'd have all the paperwork with the receipts with their signature that would match their signature on file with the credit card company. And we would fight that. And then they would say, you cannot fight this because you actually paid for it, and we would get to keep the money. That's what you do in that situation. You would say, look, here's the email trail. I'm going to give it to my lawyer. You're not getting a refund. I don't know what to tell you. I really don't.
No, it doesn't make sense to me. Something here isn't adding up.
Yeah.
It was the early days of what we all now know and despise, which is another video
thank you for
that you're going to talk about. Like cancel culture.
That's so kind of you. Oh my God. Thank you so much.
And it's this bandwagon mentality of, well, if these people did it, I'm going to hop on that. And as a business owner, it makes complete sense to me, and it makes complete sense to a lot of people who were involved in this. You can only do so much. Yeah. When you start getting inundated with refund requests, you do your best to keep up with that.
You just try not to drown. That's the thing, is like, it's different because it's not a physical product. Like, all of my products were digital, and well, things were mailed out, like t-shirts and merch and stuff, but like the actual plans were never mailed out. And so, yeah.
So why did you have that fee on the PayPal or whatever that was shipping and handling, or
the delivery fee? Yeah, for an email.
What are you talking about? You're saying that was why? That was intentional. I don't understand why you would put that there. If you're so like pure and innocent and you
Buy
did
the
nothing
book.
wrong, why would you put that delivery fee on there when it's a freaking digital product? God, I don't even know.
As a business owner, how do you get your product back?
You can't when it's the digital goods.
You can't.
And so, yeah, that's a whole thing. We really went into depth about that on the podcast episode, which I'll link below. It's very...
No, it was awful. I mean, can I just say
Did you though? Did you?
don't listen to it. I mean, you can, but I mean, it's this, but worse. And it's 40 minutes longer.
Very in depth compared to this video. One thing I forgot to mention was when this video went live, because this kind of like leads into the lawsuit being opened up. When that video went live, the prank video, I don't know if he did, someone started a petition called Stop Brittany Dawn Fitness Scams. And to give you guys context as to the cancel culture mentality, the bandwagon mentality behind this, 15,950 people signed that petition. That was like as of last week. I checked.
It's still going?
Apparently. I had a little, I know.
I'm stop, Brittany. Stop.
Are you gonna find it?
Yep. Dawn Fitness Scams. Change.org petition. Oh, whoop. No, it's freaking closed. Started by Fit Girl Tribe. 15,952 signatures. The next goal was 25,000. It's like 4 years ago. It's not. No one has commented on it in 4 years.
But it's still happening.
It's just open.
Because it still exists on the internet. It's still happening.
Oh my God. Woe is me, except the woe that you are talking about is not an actual woe. Oh my God. She looks at that petition daily. I mean, maybe let's look at ourselves in the mirror and change behavior instead of looking on the internet and finding things to make yourself seem like you didn't do bad shit when you did. I mean, come on. Buy yourself a mirror. Oh.
Ridiculous. I had a little over 5,000 clients. So that is 2/3 of people who never worked with me, who probably didn't even know who I was before this. And that is why ultimately the state of Texas opened up a lawsuit.
Come on. Because of change.org? Seriously? The state of Texas has better things to do than to look at 15,000 people that and yeah, if they look into it and they see that stuff's going on, sure. Stuff was going on.
Exactly. I'm pretty sure the state of Texas sued you because you broke the law. Like, sorry?
Oh my God.
Change.org or not. Like, it
She's
would have come out.
Conspiracy. She's basically alluding to the fact that it's a conspiracy that the entire state of Texas came after her because people lied.
Internet.
You know what? People can care about other people getting scammed. I mean, we do. We give a shit if we find out that maybe an MLM leader is using unethical recruiting practices. And even if we've never had an interaction with that person, because guess what? Who's getting harmed? The consumer is getting harmed. How are they getting harmed? Getting taken advantage of financially. God, we're mad. We do need a tiny violin. I don't even think I have a good... What do I have? That's all I got. Oh my God.
2019, when this occurred, the state of Texas received complaints. They opened up an investigation.
So lawyers who went to law school opened up an investigation, and they are required to abide by the rule of law. They can't just say, well, we hate Brittany Dawn, so we're going to make her suffer, and
burn her.
We're just going to burn her to the ground. Yeah, let's do that. No, they have to follow the rule of law. What's happening?
The state of Texas has the ability to bring criminal charges against someone should their actions warrant criminal charges. It was determined early on that none of this was done maliciously. So
we highlighted defendant Brittany Dawn admits wrongdoing but was overwhelmed. I'm sorry.
Defendant Brittany Dawn Davis admits wrongdoing, but was overwhelmed by the unexpected number of customers who purchased programs from her website. Defendants claim their failure to provide all services that were ordered was due to the volume of consumers. They were too popular. Oh, wait, it doesn't say that. While defendants admit wrongdoing, they maintain that at no time did defendants fail to provide purchase services due to any malicious intent, just greed. Oh, wait, it doesn't say that.
Okay. All right. Where's our little, these are my little tiny violins being played right here. God.
out there that think that Brittany's going to jail. Last time I checked, you can't settle a criminal charge outside of court.
No.
When you're charged with a crime, you go before a jury. You are either found guilty.
You can settle before. You can absolutely settle, and
Before it goes to trial, right?
Yeah. What is this guy talking about? In a criminal thing, you can settle with the state and say, like, yes, I admit to doing wrong stuff, and you can do like a settlement agreement or whatever. And like, oh, if you're going to agree to testify against someone else, sometimes they don't make you go to jail at all. What is happening? Where's a lawyer when we need them? Oh my God.
You're not guilty of a criminal charge that then imposes a sentence. That can be decided by the jury. That can be decided by the judge.
That can be decided by the state if you make an agreement with the person who is in trouble. Why do oh my God, a plea bargain, Tanya. Yes. I love how like they're teaching us shit and it's literally shit. It's not even teaching us stuff. It's just shit. Oh my God. I'm going to lose my mind.
At any point from 2019, this was never a criminal case. This was always a civil penalty about the business and the way her business was run and the mistakes that were made.
There was an
Should it?
He's not going to let her interrupt him, but he interrupts her all the fucking time. Red flag. Red flag. Red fucking flag. Oh my God, Rootin' to Being said my dad is an attorney and I worked in his office, so very little legal info here, but a little bit. Okay, what did you say? Just because something is in a civil court doesn't mean a crime wasn't committed. Oh, snap. Oh, snap.
That this was maliciously done and with criminal intent, they would have charged her with a criminal charge. That was never done.
So anyways, that opened up the state of Texas suing me at 28 years old.
Oh, big whoop. Big fucking whoop. I'm sorry for using the F word Danielle's channel. I'm sorry.
What a wild ride it's been since then. 4.5 years. It's finally over with as of April 25th. So a little over a month ago. Yeah. So after a 9-hour mediation, we came to a settlement agreement of $531.
$300,000 in civil penalties pursuant to DTPA section 17.47 C1, $100,000 in restitution. So you got a penalty, and then you had to pay the $100,000 is being paid back to people. So I don't know where the $300,000 is going. And then $131,320 in attorney's fees. Yeah, I know there's a difference between a civil and a criminal trial.
Is there any change in there? Any pennies that I missed?
There is. The important part of the settlement is that the $131,000 and some change is attorney's fees for the state of Texas Attorney General's office.
Yeah.
$400,000 of that is what we owe and what we are going to pay back. $100,000 of that is restitution for the clients that
We can read.
receive their packages, and $300,000 of that is what are called civil penalties, which are basically that's the penalty for not doing things correctly.
Yeah, that's the AKA the hard lesson learned.
The hard lesson learned.
Yeah.
So
They're so not remorseful.
$100,000 of that will go back to clients who didn't receive a program over the course of time.
Yeah.
So that's the breakdown of the settlement.
Yeah. I want to wrap this up by saying that.
Can I add something for you?
Let her fucking
This
talk.
is exactly what I was thinking. When she first asked him, did I miss anything? And he goes, yeah. And then he starts blah, 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 blah. You're an idiot. Let me explain.
Whatever partnership you're in, or even if you're in a friendship and they keep interrupting you, like, what the hell? Like, oh, actually, no. She's also been on this kick on her TikToks about being a submissive wife. You know what I'm saying? Because it's quote unquote biblical. I'm like, no. There's mutual respect. What are we talking about? He doesn't respect you. He keeps interrupting you, and he expects you to stop talking when he wants to talk, and that makes me pissed off.
So one of the really difficult challenges throughout all of this has been Brittany's inability to speak on this because of being involved in litigation. There has been absolutely just ridiculous false narrative spread about her lack of cooperation with the state of Texas.
I looked at the it was streamed to YouTube, and I reacted to it, and it was the judge and the lawyers asking, where are the PayPal stuff? Like, I have the video, I reacted to it, and it's saying like, oh, well, we're locked out of our account. Oh, okay, watch for yourself on that video and see if that looks like they're cooperating. Maybe they are, but I mean, when you're dealing with hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars, potentially in fines or whatever, the deal that you got, why wouldn't you do that as quickly as possible and lower the amount of attorney's fees that you would have to pay for the state of Texas?
Exactly. And they had to ask for like multiple extensions because the deadlines kept coming up and they wouldn't have the information, and they didn't give them enough heads up to tell them they didn't have the information.
Yeah. So I mean, both of y'all can look in the mirror.
And just failure to produce documents and all of this stuff. And none of that could be further from the truth. We submitted over 60,000 business records
The night before that y'all went to trial so that they couldn't look through it in time and didn't give them enough of a period of time to actually do that. I mean, was that cooperating? Because that's a shady move among lawyers. I'm just going to tell you that right now. Just producing 60,000 documents, you know how long it takes to actually produce that? It takes a long time. And you could have done it earlier.
Even at one point offered the state electronic devices that had all of the documents on them. There was full.
They have to make sure that they have to bring in electronic experts to make sure that those are actually like the right documents. So it probably wouldn't have been as easy as them saying, here's all our computers, because they have to go and verify the data that those documents are actually like real. So it's not just as easy as them saying like, here's all my computers, here's all my hard drives, here's all my shit. And they're making it seem like, oh, we tried to do that. It's more complicated than that, I bet. I bet Rude into Being or Shelby or Wendy can speak more into this, because this is just, he just makes me mad.
Yeah.
So there's some folks out there would like to watch a court proceeding and try to interpret legal jargon that's discussed by two attorneys on opposing sides and try to make a determination of what was said and what is happening, and thus put forth a false narrative of that's not even close to what was occurring.
Yeah.
To even to the point of mediation, our attorney had a great working relationship with the state of Texas Attorney General's office. We very cordially came to an agreement around this settlement, and it should be noted that our full intention is to pay back all $400,000. I think that I'm really proud of you, and I think that this video is really important. And the
How is it important? Where's the details? Because it would have been more meaningful if they had actually had details. If they would actually have brought in screenshots. Yeah, they brought in screenshots of the settlement. If they would have said, here's what my website looked like when I first made it, and here is the transaction from, or the total first year of sales, the second year of sales, the third year of sales, the fourth year of sales, the fifth year of sales. Here is like if they could have shown us anything. And the thing is, it seems like it has a more of a ring of truth when you can be more specific. And we're in Vegas City right now, and we're never leaving. We're stuck here because we can't see the roads, we can't see the buildings, we don't even know where to go because it's just everything's vague, except the few screenshots that the state of Texas gave us. So, oh my God.
Videos will address other things that are completely unacceptable that have happened since 2019.
I can confidently sit here today and say that I've learned from this hard lesson. I've learned from my mistakes. I've learned from my errors. I don't know what the future looks like, but I know that from this moment forward, this is in the past.
It's not in the past for the people that you took advantage of. I mean, sometimes there's consequences that are going to be with you for the rest of your life. There are some things that I've done as a person that I don't get to recover my friendships with people because of decisions that I've made, and I have to live with those consequences forever. Or if there is something that happens like criminally, like if you unalive someone and you are in prison for the rest of your life. Like that's a consequence that sits with you that you have to sit with for the rest of your life. I'm not saying this is criminal. I'm saying that there are some things that you have to sit next to and sit with for the rest of your life. And maybe, I'm not saying let it crush you. I hope you learn from it, but it doesn't sound like you learned anything from it other than you were in a really bad set of circumstances, but it was probably still really privileged, and you made a lot of decisions that had greed as the foundation, and that we shouldn't be blaming you for anything. And it's not in the past until you pay that $400,000.
Exactly.
And someone was saying, I think Shelby was saying on the live stream a few days ago, is that if they pay back the $400,000, they don't have to pay the $131,000.
Yeah. And that's what he was alluding to when he was reading the totals.
Yeah. So they're in the podcast, they were saying, the 530, whatever the amount was, the big amount, but they weren't making it super clear that if they pay the 400, they don't have to pay the other fees. So, ugh. Womp, womp, womp.
Jordan just kind of shared a little bit about what the upcoming videos are going to be about. I don't say it lightly when I say that the last 4.5 years of my life have been a living hell, and it's time for it to be brought to the light.
You're sitting on a couch that's thousands of dollars. You have a luxury home. It's probably thousands upon thousands of square feet. You have horses. You live on land. You have air conditioning because we can hear it. I'm not saying that material stuff makes your life worth living. I'm saying that it can be stressful, but you're also saying it from a place of luxury
and privilege.
In our opinions. And again, I know that the mental state of stuff can make things really twisty and really difficult. I just am also a believer of, if you do something wrong, you get to feel bad for it. And that's okay to sit with the consequences of what you've done to other people, and sit with it and think about it, and not continue to push that emotion away because you don't want to own it or believe that you're the one that caused someone else harm.
Or your self-harm. Like, to me, it's like, woe is me. The last 4 years of my life have been so hard, and I'm not saying they haven't been, but you were the one that created the problem. It's like, take accountability for the fact that you're in this situation because of your own actions.
Yeah. The reason that I'm here is because I brought myself here because of the decisions and actions that I chose to do. And I cannot talk my way out of my behavior. And what I can do
Exactly.
is I am going to say sorry because of what I did that harmed other people. And I'm going to pay the money back that I owe to the state of Texas. The end. The end.
There have just been some awful things that have been done to us that have all stemmed from hate threads, from people that just don't like us for whatever reason. And
for whatever reason, look, Reddit's a fiery Wild West. I get it. Do not, and I don't condone bringing things real world. If that, like, I'm guessing they are saying that someone brought stuff real world. That's not okay.
Yeah, people found where she lived or something, I think, and were posting it online.
That is awful. Don't do that. You can actually get in criminal trouble for doing that. So literally don't do that. And I just, I guess we're going to find out what happened if I can ever finish this video and not pause the hell out of it.
But what I can say is that I'm sorry. I've learned from my mistakes. But from this moment forward, I'm moving on. This is in my past. I have every right to move on. It's been almost 5 years. It'll be 5 years in January next year. I didn't scam anyone. I didn't fraud anyone. I'm not a scammer. I'm not a fraud. I'm not a grifter. And I'm...
Sorry, pardon? Let me make an apology video, and I'm going to wait until that last 2 minutes to tell you that I don't actually need to apologize because I didn't do anything wrong.
I'm not sorry for anything. Surprise! I didn't do anything wrong. Holy shit. She didn't
I can't believe she just said that.
I can't believe she said that either. I cannot believe she said that. I'm not a scammer. I'm not a grifter. I'm not a fraud. Or whatever.
Why did you make this video then?
This is like those plot twists at the end of like your reality TV show that you're watching, and then like on next episode.
Exactly.
Like, what? I can't wait a week for the next episode.
The fraudacity.
Literally the fraudacity. We're making a shirt, and I want to make it one of those like embossed like shirts where the letters are raised up on it.
Yeah.
Oh my god. She didn't say this. She did not say this on the podcast. Oh, she did? I don't think she said I'm not a scammer. I'm not a fraud. I'm not a grifter. I didn't think she said that, but maybe she did. Holy crap. That surprised me.
Done tolerating being called that by...
Ma'am, welcome to the internet in the commentary space. I'm done tolerating. She did threaten. Okay, Jessica remembers. She did threaten to highlight people who had done her wrong on the internet, and that she was using her pro followers to grab all of the identifying information about all of us haters on the internet who were doing stuff to her. So maybe she's going to read our names aloud. Oh, wait, what?
By news headlines, by articles, by other YouTubers, by other people on TikTok who are really just ultimately chasing this story for clout, because at this point it's become a clickbait title. I am
a clout chaser.
I'm so proud of the woman that I am today. I'm so proud of how I've handled myself, how I've carried myself with such grace through this fire. I'm so proud of myself for the growth that I've I have faced some hard things at 32 years old. I would not be where I am. I wouldn't have made it through the fire without smelling like smoke if it wasn't for my relationship with the Lord.
You're gonna bring in, I know she brought in Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego into the podcast. And if you don't know that story, it's a Bible story where they got put into a fiery furnace that killed the guards that put them into the furnace, and they were not burning. And then someone looked through and there was 4 people in there, because I think alluding to that being God or Jesus or something, I guess God. And then they came out not smelling like smoke. So she is saying that she is so holy and pure and her intentions were so good that she has come out without anything smelling like anything, which I would beg to differ. Oh, I can imagine her attorney screaming at the screen, "For the love of God, Rob." Yes, 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 yes. Oh my God.
I'm unashamed to say that, because the only reason I've made it to this point is because of Jesus. He has carried me. He has sustained me. He has given me the courage and the tenacity to get through this. Mistakes were made. I'm genuinely sorry, and I'm moving on, and I have every right to move on at this point in my life.
It's the oxymoron for me.
So that is that. Our camera's about to die, actually. So that is the end of the
Plug your camera into the wall. Can I just say this for? Oh, I know. What do I know? Just plug your camera into the wall. If you have a point and shoot that you record your stuff on, can you just plug it into the wall? You can do it. You can do it. You can do it.
This will be a 5-part series, possibly 6 parts, in case this video becomes.
Can you zoom in on Brittany's face? I'm certain there are no tears. Yeah, we can zoom in. Where's the big one? Oh, not me. God. There's not. Her makeup's fucking perfect. Right? I don't see anything.
No.
Dang.
Videos. This is the beginning of some pretty intense conversations that I am ready to have, as hard as they are. So, okay, well, we'll see you guys in the next vlog. Bye.
I'm just curious how you say, I'm not a scammer, I'm not a grifter, and then apologize. Like, what are you apologizing for if you don't think you did anything wrong?
I don't know. I mean, I'm confused. I don't remember it being that audacious in the podcast, how she was saying, I'm not a scammer, I'm not a grifter, I'm not a fraud, I didn't do anything wrong. Oh, wait, but I'm sorry. I don't remember her being that, like, bold in the podcast.
Like, that doesn't even make sense. If I don't think I did anything wrong, what am I apologizing for?
Yeah. What is it? So from a marketing perspective, I wouldn't have had Jordan be in there at all. But who would have listened to? There are emergency PR companies that people hire. Young Living had to hire one. That people hire them to like save their reputations for like bigger companies and stuff like that. I'm sure she needed someone, but maybe didn't want to pay for it. Is that like
based on her track record?
Yeah, she didn't pay for it. I just, and again, comparing the podcast to what she said in this video, it comes across as even more disingenuous, because she's, you have something to compare it to when you listen to the podcast.
I just think too, from a marketing perspective, like it'd be much more effective to just sit down, write like a script or write bullet points, and then make a very articulate, like 3 to 5 minute video, rather than sit here and ramble and like try to half defend yourself, but then not really make any valid arguments and repeat yourself 50 times. Like, to me, it's like, this just made it worse.
Yeah. And even if you wanted to hire someone to ask you questions that you could answer, where
Exactly.
you didn't have to be the one thinking about the chronology of what's going on, but you could have had, I mean, that's the beauty of having a director, or like there's incredible people where she lives that are super talented that could help her with this. And I wouldn't have put Jordan anywhere near that conversation. because that's Control City. But you could ask, and then you could cut out the person asking the questions, and then you could put the answers on the screen, and you could probably oscillate between two. I would even be okay with oscillating between two camera shots, a straight on and a side one in a conversation thing, and look professional, but not have a script. I would even be okay with that.
Exactly.
But this was like, no, it was a no. It was a no for me. Oh my God. She was charged with deceptive trade practices, aka fraud. The only thing she's sorry for is herself. She's sorry she was sued. She's sorry that people held her accountable. She's sorry that she has to pay. Lynn, spot freaking on. Spot on.
Agreed.
Yep. Well, oh, live chat. Let's have an MLM moment. If you want Danielle, I don't even know if Danielle wants to cover the rest of these videos with me, but if you want Danielle to react with me to the rest of these videos, drop a 1 for peer pressure. But for real, she doesn't want to do it. If you don't want to do it, Danielle, you don't have to.
DeeCee is the Jordan in this relationship.
I know. I talk over Danielle all the time. I make her do things that she doesn't want to do, like coffee enema reaction videos. I don't even know what else. I do lots of other things too. I peer pressure her with ones in the chat. I don't even know.
She picks the topic. Just
I
kidding.
know.
In fairness, she did ask me what the topic should be, and I told her to pick. So
I thought we could use a break from the coffee enemas. I mean, maybe a little bit of a break. Look at the ones coming through.
So many ones. I guess we're doing it.
Oh, yep. Oh my gosh. So these are probably going to be once a week because I don't even know when she's going to do the next one. She drops her podcasts on Tuesday. Oh my God. Wait. So and if y'all want to look, we don't have to look now, but if y'all want to go to YouTube and look. Stop being so controlling. I can't help it.
I can't help it. It's like in my genes, okay? If she doesn't want to, I'm going to start a petition.
Change.org, baby. I'll see you there.
Change.org, but make sure to put Brittany Dawn's name in it too so she can get doubly upset about all of the Change.org petitions that she has going.
And all the YouTubers that are talking shit.
This is our new brand. Lawsuits and butt stuff. Normal stuff to cover on a Friday afternoon amongst beards. Yeah. I'm sure like every time I add, I'm like, oh, let's do this live. And then I'm looking at how clean and like fluid Danielle's like branding is on her like covers and like how intelligent her conversations are. And then there's coffee enema. Pseudoscience. Brittany Dawn. And I'm like, I don't know. I feel like the weight of the anchor of dragging Danielle's a brand down into the ocean, never to be seen.
You're coming with me.
Oh my God. Oh yeah, Bite Model 101. That's me to Danielle for sure. Oh God. I'm regretting not going to SatanCon as it was in Boston this year. I live an hour away. I mean, after this, I'm sure. Holy moly. Live chat, you've been snarky and sassy and incredible and intelligent, and it would not be the same without you. And replay crew, oh my God, good luck. And I should have said this at the beginning, but if you ever have to watch one of these streams, turn on the replay, the live chat, so you can hang out with all of us, so you don't get discouraged with the video by yourself in the comments. But let me tag Danielle one more time in the live chat. Please go subscribe. How close are you to 10K? Did you already hit 10K while we were streaming?
No, I'm at like 8.5.
Oh my God. I cannot wait. We're going to have a 10,000 follower. Wait, is Pablo going to take you like on a trip when you hit 10K? Are you going to get like, what are you going to get?
I don't know. I haven't really thought about it. I got ice cream at 5K, so I gotta get something at least a little bit better.
You should do like a weekend trip for 10K. You should get a trip or something.
Yeah, I'll let him know. DeeCee said you have to take me on vacation.
Tell him your controlling friend said you need a trip when you hit 10K. I'm all about prizes. I can't help it. That's why I got sucked into multi-level marketing. So, oh my God. Thanks everybody. Thanks for hanging out.
Thank you so much.
We will catch you on the next live stream. Okay, bye.
Bye.